You know, not one stuffed animal shifted itself on the shelf. Nothing changed. And your vibration now is an expanded position where you're already in that. And then the circumstances manifest to match and meet that where you are right now. It is, I'm out here in the rain, in the dark. I drove to the cliff for inspiration. You know, I'm the kind of person who works better when I'm outside. But it's raining and it's dark, so I figured I'm gonna go in my car and try to work. It's about permission to have joy. I had recognized something after I'd cleared this grief and this guilt, was that joy was available to me. It opened up, like that gridlock on like, you can't have all that. You can try, you can fool yourself, and you think you can, but deep down inside, we know you don't get it. And I realized after I had cleared that grief, dudettes, my peoples, after I had cleared that up, then this thought happened. I imagined, what would it be like if I didn't have this limiting belief, you know? I really felt like I was deep down inside kind of a piece of shit, bad person. There was this root seed still pretty damn stuck. There is that possibility that joy is a thing that all of us really, we get to be in that, let's say, club, right? The joy club. So to me, that was just like, bleh, like disgusting. It's like, seriously, like so much resistance against that kind of club, because it would mean abandoning a whole part of myself. So, and then when I experienced that grief integration, oh my God, and it's a calico. Oh, this is my soft spot, and he's coming to the car. It's crossing the road. The universe. I'm sorry. We interrupt this program. Okay, so what just happened? Cat crossed the road, and a car was coming, and it's pitch black, and I think I totally lost my focus. Yeah. But it's like this knee-jerk reaction of yuck against that, right? Because of this, because of an abandonment. That feels really unsafe. To imagine that you can have joy, that you think, okay, in the future, if I have this, it would mean abandoning a huge part of myself, and also an identity, right? There's an identity that we hold with suffering. That grief thing that I was talking about, the loss that I experienced with the person in my life and my family, and the guilt that was going with that person's loss, when that healing process kind of completed itself, then there wasn't any more guilt. You know? There wasn't any more the feeling of like, I have to stay in purgatory. It's still there a little bit, not gonna lie. And I don't think it'll go away, and that's okay. That's okay. That's part of it too. It's like, I can still be okay with myself even having some guilt. It really felt bad thinking about being in the hills are alive, you know, thing. That just felt like, no, not me. Because there's an identity tied into that suffering me. And the thing that I realized was that it's not just an identity. That's what I used to think it was up until that point. There's an identity of me who has suffered for so long. If I go into super happy, and if that actually manifests, then that's basically abandoning the whole other part of me, you know, that lives in so much pain. And that's basically they're saying like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna just ignore you now. And that was so like awful to me to think of, that I would rather hold myself in limitation in every area of my life, you know? But like, what happens when that's gone? When that identity is gone? So part of that identity is like enmeshed or locked, combined with like this, with guilt. So there's the identity of the grieving self and not wanting to let go of the suffering person. But that's just our inner being, our psyche saying, hey, there's something here that wants seeing, that wants acceptance. You know, there's something deep in your core that wants you to look at it and peel back that shell and be like, oh, poor that. And what is that about? So a lot of times we feel guilty as children for things that weren't our fault, but we take on that responsibility of guilt, and then it stays stuck in our nervous system, and we keep reliving situations that will force us to confront that feeling again, but we don't until we finally do. Well, when we confront that feeling finally again and really go in and say, can I actually love myself in this situation, or accept myself, or accept that I am in this situation, and do that process. I take people through these processes. So if you want to do that, just let me know. The identity of, oh, I'm this grieving person. I don't want to let go of that sad part of me because I'm abandoning myself. Once the guilt is gone, then this identity, it doesn't want to stay over here anymore. It's like you don't want to be over here anymore. There's no need. It's just like, oh, okay, let's go forward. And what happens is, because there's been an integration, when you go forward into that happy life that you're seeing, that you're right now maybe feeling really resistant to, when you think about going forward into that happy life now, after integrating, it doesn't feel like abandoning yourself anymore. It doesn't feel like a change. It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm going to go there and it'll be a change, because the change already happened. So you're already this self that, yeah, has all this past pain experience in it, and you've loved that extra bit that needed you. And so now there's a broadening of yourself right now, right this second. So it's not going forward into a happy later. It's already in the circumstances that exist currently, right now, in real time, what you have in your life right this second. Nothing changed. Not one hair moved on your head. You know, not one stuffed animal shifted itself on the shelf. Nothing changed. And your vibration now is an expanded position where you're already in that. And then the circumstances manifest to match and meet that where you are right now. Okay, and also, here's some protection for everybody. And me too. And let's just keep going.